Hi everyone, this is Marianne here from Revealing Light Tarot, Astrology and Spirituality. How are you today? Wherever you are in the world when you're watching, a huge shout out to you. As always, thank you for your kind comments and support of the channel. It is very much appreciated. Okay, so we've got a lot to get through today. We'll take a little look at the astrology and also pull a card from the Moonology Oracle deck, because the moon represents our feelings and our emotions, and often we forget to let our emotions guide us. They come from the subconscious, the same place that our intuition, our dreams, our hopes, our wishes, our imagination comes from. And the subconscious is an extremely powerful part of our mind, very much hidden and untapped. So I also want to look at the earthquake in Turkey and Syria, and just look at the astrology chart, which is quite a revelation in itself. And I do want to ask why these events. It's a fairly heavy, I guess, question to ask at this time, but I have viewers that just cannot understand why we have one disaster after the next. Now, while I'm on that subject, any donations you might have planned on giving to this channel, please do donate to the relief and rescue efforts in Turkey and Syria. These are our brothers and sisters, no matter what country they're from, and our heart goes out to them. Now, I've had viewers ask, well, where is somewhere reputable that I can donate to? The ABC News did a article on some places that you could donate to the relief efforts, and I'll pin that comment for anyone who's interested in making a donation. So all donations, please, to the relief efforts. I looked at parts of Biden's State of the Union address yesterday. I think it's 72% of Americans approved of it. It was a powerful address. And despite the hecklers in the audience, which really did themselves a disservice, if anything, a real peanut gallery, and disrespectful to the office of president, I believe that, that's the kind of speech that starts a campaign, a 2024 campaign. But I can't shake this feeling that, I don't know. I think it's the jury's out as to whether or not in 2024, whether he wants to or whether something prevents him, health, his family's health, I don't know. We'll take a quick look at that. And also, can he win again? He certainly can win against Trump. And I do believe DeSantis, which is the front runner in the Republican nominations. I also feel that the Trump indictments will be coming in the next, well, I hesitate to put a timeline on it because smart Alex get on and go, well, it happened a month after you said it was going to happen and therefore you're wrong. But I've just got a feeling they're going to drop. They're going to drop imminently. And they'll come out of the blue when we're not expecting it, when we've taken our eye off that, and it's just going to happen like that. The same thing with George Santos, Anthony DeVolder, whatever his name is, that shameless character in the Congress, like something, yeah, the liar in Congress. Well, you'd be forgiven if you said, well, which one is that? The most obvious liar in Congress at this time in the US, George Santos, Anthony DeVolder. I feel he's going to face charges very soon. It's again going to drop just like that. The anniversary of the invasion of Ukraine, that bloody, pointless, reckless, ego-driven invasion of Ukraine that has cost so much to so many young Russian lives and brilliant young Ukrainian lives, for the good of what? If we've got time, I mean, I'll do a separate video on that. I've also got a video planned for when Pluto enters Aquarius. That's an interesting chart, in astrology chart in itself. Let's quickly talk about the astrology. The moon in Australia, it's the 9th of February. We're about 15 hours ahead of you, moving from Virgo into Libra. And again, Mars is Chiron. This is a time of powerful healing, even through these disastrous events. And the more we can allow an open heart and our heart to lead the way, the more healing that will occur. Mars is sextiling Chiron, the wounded healer. Jupiter is conjunct Chiron. So there's a real opportunity in your personal lives. Let's just forget what is going on globally, but in your personal lives, there's a huge opportunity to heal. The sun is conjunct Saturn. And so Saturn is asking us to do that healing work, to illuminate those areas that stay in the shadows, with the moon being emotions, trining Pluto, stay in the shadows. Those emotions that we may not have looked at, that we may have buried, it's time to have a look at those and allow that healing to take place. And with the moon trining Mercury, we have a chance to communicate that healing and allow that to be a two-way street in our relationships. It's all about healing at this time. Let's draw from the Moonology deck. I'm just, really, I don't know, in sync with the moon at this time. Well, my moon's in Libra. Maybe that's why the moon is moving into Libra, and it'll stay there for a couple of days before it moves into Scorpio. All right, what is the message for those that are watching right now? Okay, so surrender to the divine full moon, surrender. That's an important word there, because when we resist that flow, we don't allow our thoughts, our intuitions, our insights to extend in any way. They hit a wall. So surrendering allows that outward flow. And you're very close to achieving your goal. For anyone who is putting in the work on something, understand that it is not in vain. You might have been procrastinating, but success is within reach. And the full moon in Scorpio, that's where the moon moves after Libra into Scorpio, and it's time to release negativity. Scorpio is very good at that. We sometimes forget that powerful energy of transformation, where we release something and we allow something else to come in. All right, let's move now to a little bit of, we'll look at that Turkey chart. And the reason I want to do this is that, yes, any astrologer that might have been looking at that particular place at that particular time would have been able to predict this. But of course, we rarely have astrologers looking at every place in the world for a tragic event, as has happened in Turkey and Syria. However, the astrology on this is quite mind-blowing, and I feel that looking at this chart is a way to alert people that astrology is a powerful, powerful tool to understand what is going on around us. Let's just take a look at that chart, if I can remember which chart it is. Maybe we'll do it this way. Okay, yes, Turkey. Now, the epicenter was Gaziantep in Turkey, but it extended right through to Syria. And some of those really impoverished areas, and I can only imagine those that are currently in despair. And I think I just want to say that, may their suffering ease. May they find an outstretched hand of help. And may this period of tragedy and suffering and grief be over, so that they can move on and rebuild their lives and heal from this. So Turkey and Syria, we are listening, we are present with you, and you have more support in the West than you may realize. So here's the earthquake chart. I mean, this is really what I'm drawn to. Remember, we had the full moon in Leo. Well, over this particular epicenter, it was in the 8th house. Now, if you watch my videos long enough, you'll know that the 8th house of astrology can represent death and rebirth. It can represent that transformation energy. Now, Leo is self-expression. Leos are, the Leo energy is one of strength in expression. Now, it is opposite the sun, which is the most powerful. It's the epicenter of our zodiac, and the sun is all about expression. But not only that, we have this Saturn opposition to the full moon as well. So here we have an indication that something, Aquarius being groups, the collective, many people, something powerful has occurred or will occur in the epicenter of this earthquake. And the next indication that we have of something explosive occurring is always to Mars. Mars in Gemini in the 6th house. The 6th house in astrology can rule ill health. In day-to-day routines, something happening which is not positive. Mars in Gemini, wow. Well, that Mars in Gemini has given us a lot of grief. It turned direct from retrograde a few weeks ago. It was on the move. Now, Gemini is ruled by Mercury, so we have this communication. So then we have to go, what's this explosive, direct, volatile communication? And we look at the square, meaning the red lines, conflict. The conflict it is having with Venus in Pisces. Now, Venus in astrology has been referred to, its second closest planet to the sun, as Earth's twin sister because of its similar composition. And so we have Earth squaring Mars in Gemini, Venus in Pisces squaring Mars in Gemini, a communication. Now, Pisces is a watery energy. It doesn't have boundaries. And to me, while the epicenter might have been on land, there was also something going on under the ocean, or under the sea, whatever that bay is, near Turkey and Syria. So a pressure was building up, and of course we have this again, Jupiter in Aries, meaning that something, and it is trining Mars in Gemini. The communication was there and building up, and it found expression. I also cannot read this chart without mentioning Uranus in Taurus. Again, Taurus being an earth sign, the body, representing the body, ruled again by Venus. And Uranus is those lightning, explosive, quick events that we can't really foresee. It takes us unawares and takes us by the surprise, and it's quick. And it is forming a square to the full moon in Leo. I mean, this T-square here, it's like tremendous pressure and then action as those plates, as I understand it, horizontally sort of slipped by one another, and that earthquake occurred. So what are the good, no, I won't even say good. What is there anything redeeming in this chart? Well, we have the asteroid Pallas Athena in the 7th house of partnerships in Cancer. So when we see the suffering, we are all impacted and affected by what has happened in Turkey and Syria. And I hope that we respond with our heart. And we have Ceres up in the 9th house in Libra, the sign of justice and balancing the scale. We know that every time we have a tragedy like this, that we have to respond and we have to help. I do want to say that Pluto was in Capricorn, Mercury in Capricorn, and Mercury is trining Uranus here. So again, that communication, the Earth's way of communicating. Pluto is sextiling Neptune in Pisces. So I do feel that what went on under the sea is important as well. So a potential there for an event like an earthquake is in this chart. In fact, astrologers have looked at the type of astrology that looks at the map of our world, and they were able to pinpoint the epicenter of the quake in hindsight in that particular brand of astrology, that uses geography and mapping. So very, very tragic event there, and that one that astrology is reflected in the astrology. Now, I have had viewers, with disasters and kind of political events that wear us down. They just want to know why. Now, I think we'll get an indication or a bit of a release once Pluto moves into Aquarius. We might start to see the good that is happening. We also know about the negative because news, social media is 24/7. And so we may have been insulated from these constant negativity. And so what I would say, if anyone's feeling like that, turn off your social media, step aside and ground yourself and start to see the good. Now, in Maine, for example, we have heat pumps powered by electricity, which are becoming very, very popular. So popular in Maine in this winter, in Maine in the US, that the oil lobby is actually running ads against them yet. It's not fooling the Maine residents. They're saying we're sticking with our electric heat pumps because guess what? They're cheaper to run and they work really well. So a lot is happening as we move from Capricorn into Aquarius. Pluto is from Capricorn into Aquarius. I think it's at 29 degrees on the 11th in a few days, and then moves into Aquarius in March. And I'll do that. There's some big things coming up in the US in relation to Mr. Trump, the former president. All right. Why? I'm seeing the Seven of Swords. It's almost like we're shooting ourselves in the foot. So how can we ask why when, as a collective, we are responsible for what is happening? I know that's hard. Why is this happening? Why is this happening? The King of Cups also. So there's a question around emotional maturity and moving toward emotional maturity and wisdom. So we have the Star card here. This is a nice card to see. It's about hope and balance, land and sea, hope for the future. And it is challenged by the this ending of a cycle, this 10 of Swords. It's probably my least favorite card in the deck because it's so graphic. It's like, you know, usually depicting, it's interesting, we've got the phases of the moon here. It's usually depicting someone lying on the ground with swords sticking out of his or her back. It's not a nice card. But look, old cycles are ending. I know that's a hard message too, but look, the Star card is here. We have the Three of Swords, heartbreak. Certainly the cards are accurate, aren't they? Heartbreak, betrayal, loss, and grief. In the past, we have the Knight of Pentacles, when things were more consistent, when we felt the safety in that consistency. And that's what's unnerving us, is that there isn't any consistency. We can't go for long periods without something happening and occurring. And we have the High Priestess, and that's our subconscious. And I think the message here is understanding that we bear some responsibility, or we are responsible for creating our reality as a collective. But the subconscious is showing us our intuition and ways to generate ways to be more direct with our goal setting, with our intuition, with our manifestation energy, to get what we want. And I think we're doing that. And this is why the change is occurring. And you only need to look into that news cycle to see that change. The High Priestess speaks of unforeseen events. We have the Nine of Wands in the immediate future. Yes, we're feeling weary. Yes, we're feeling embattled. But we do have to put those boundaries up. We do have to put those guardrails up. And so this is the work that Saturn does. When Saturn moves into Pisces, they're the antithesis of each other. Saturn structure, Pisces is no boundaries. Neptune's been sitting in Pisces while we've had the big lies and the alternative facts, all of that. Well, Saturn's coming along now to say, hey, do better, do better. It can also, at its higher level, talk about dreams becoming reality. I'll do a separate video on that because I think this is going to be a good placement, hopefully for all of us. We have the past here. It's a reckoning with the past. I'm sorry, that's what it is. And we have the Knight of Wands, and we're moving from the past into something else. But first, we have to confront that past. In the hopes and fears, strategy and planning, this is Aquarius energy on a grand scale. On a grand scale, Pluto moving into Aquarius, we are going to have to do that. Can we do it? The Seven of Cups. Well, the choice is ours. Seven of Cups talks about good choices and bad choices. Clarified by the Emperor, controlling our choices. Georgia in the US, re-elected the woman in the gallery that was heckling and yelling at a president, calling him a liar. And we've got the Death card as well, the ending of something, the ending of control. Again, a bit a message around, if you think you have control or can control things, You might have to think again, because the collective is making choices. The collective is making new choices. And some of those will be good choices and some of those will be bad choices. But we do have the Ace of Pentacles energy, death and rebirth, ending of one cycle. Death, Pluto is often associated with death because Hades was god of the underworld. So we have this newness on the horizon. And our emotions, it's where it's at. We need to look at our emotions. What have we been doing with them? Have we been ignoring them? Have we been connected to them? Somehow I don't think so. All right, now I do want to just look at Biden's State of the Union address. So the bottom line here is if you can respond in whatever way, even if it's in prayer, to the people of Turkey and Syria, respond to them, connect with them, reach out to them. Send them that beautiful white healing light of divinity. Whatever you can do, it matters. It matters because we're here not to acquire huge riches or huge power or whatever. We are here at the end of the day when we meet our maker. It's a silly saying. When we move from this earthly life, when we go home, just in spirit to God, the thing that will matter is our service to others. Love of the self, love of others, service to ourselves, service to others. All right. Okay. Biden. Show me how, well, we've got limited time, so I'll be judicious here with my questions. How did, he's such a clever silver fox, isn't he, that someone used that phrase? All right. How did 72% finally got it, that his presidency has been powerful and his presidency has been about achievement? They finally heard it. They couldn't ignore it. The penny dropped. How did Americans respond to Biden's State of the Union address? The majority. Yeah, okay, well, they're taking another look now. They might have written him off yesterday, but they're not, or the day before yesterday, they're not now. That's celebrations. We have also crossed by fear and paranoia. So what overrides what here? Happiness and celebration. They see it as something good. There are also fears that aren't actually there. They don't exist. Historic job creation. I don't know. Ace of Wands is new start, passion. They became passionate, motivated. His speech motivated. Now, in the past, we've got the Devil card, which is a toxic energy, but it's in the past. I don't think many of those MAGAs can touch him. In the sky, we've got this renewed, I'm just getting passion and motivation, courage, stepping forward. Yeah, Knight of Wands, we're on the move. This did a lot to lift flagging type of energies up. People may have been insecure, but there's a lot to be said for faith and hope and belief. working together, working in teams. The messages just resonated. We have the truth coming out here, and we've got the Five of Pentacles, people feeling like they needed help. They needed this motivation. They needed to understand why. Seven of Swords energy. It's like, don't shoot yourself in the foot. Five of Swords, sabotage. They did not like that. Retreat, ill health, and the Star. It's never easy, is it? Okay, faith, hope, belief. That's what was restored. Some within his own party were sabotaging him in a way. You know, like Democrats are saying he's too old. We want someone new. I mean, this was echoed with Republicans, but by golly, they're not saying it today. Page of Cups. Many people would be reaching out to him, congratulating him, including, dare I say it, that former President Trump. There was a reignition of motivation and hope after that speech. And he's again got people with him. Gosh, I don't know how he handles that roller coaster, I guess. I guess that's essentially his Scorpio. He's used to it. One day they're writing him off as a has-been. Next day it's the Knight of Cups. Everyone wants to be his friend. He did good. It's that bottom line. Now, Marjorie Taylor Greene, oh God, it's like I've seen these type of people on a sporting sideline in junior sport where they're yelling at, get off of him, get ref, that's he cheated, like it is like so, I don't know how to explain it. So base. Marjorie Taylor Greene, what do people think of her? What do they think of her heckling? What did the majority of Americans think of MAGA Marge? MAGA Marge's heckling. Remember, she was the original QAnon elected. Page of Wands. Politically, she hasn't got much clout. Page of Pentacles. Okay. These aren't queens and these aren't kings. Oh, I've got a cramp in my shoulder. Three of Pentacles. They wanted her to work. They want her to work more cooperatively in the Congress. We've got insecurity here. I mean, this type of behavior does essentially come from someone that's calling attention to themselves through their own insecurity. And she's tapping into fear. She's tapping into this Eight of Swords. Remember that was in Biden's signifier card. It causes people to act, I was going to say irrationally. And we have the Moon energy, or it's her emotions. It's her emotions. It's like things rising to the surface, emotions rising to the surface. And of course, there's no accident. There is the instinctive wolf and the domesticated dog there baying. One is baying at the moon and the other is not. Ten of Pentacles. I think people probably looked at her lovely coat that she had on, the fur collar. And there's this kind of thought now that she's, I don't know, it's like money. But we also have the Two of Swords. So there's crossroads energy. Knight of Cups in the hopes and fears. She thought calling attention to herself would work. We have the Six of Pentacles. So loans and debts. Who's she in hock to? When I say hock, She did that because she owes somebody a debt. She was told to do that by whoever she's indebted to. It just didn't work. I mean, people are ashamed of her. But she thinks that it will bring her victory. But we have the Knight of Pentacles looming again. No, I think generally people didn't approve, and it just drives people toward this kind of energy, not that kind of energy. All right. So politically, it wasn't a winner for her. People with all those pages, people saw that as an immaturity. Okay, one more question around. Oh, look, I just want to see how soon. I'm not going to put a time on it. Predictions aren't an exact science. There's no calendar up there in the afterlife that says, well, this is going to happen. She said it's going to happen, so it's going to happen. So many things are at play. I'm not sure we are meant to understand where we are on this earth. We're meant to understand it like that. All I can say is I've got a good track record on predictions coming to pass. That's all I can offer. And sometimes I'm right, sometimes I'm wrong. All right, so let's have a look at how soon. I'll soon see the energy of the cards. Are the Trump indictments going to come soon, in the immediate future, without putting that timeline on it? I've got a motorcycle riding toward me down a highway, coming toward me in this view. What an image. It's a race against time in a way. It's a race that has something to do with time. But the motorcycle and the person riding, it's coming close to me. Well, that's what I'm seeing. Okay. How imminent, how soon are these indictments going to occur soon? Ooh, Five of Pentacles. Money. Money loss. Money, the Emperor, loss of control, loss of authority. The Moon card. The Moon card, again, it's going to be volatile when they do come, something coming to the surface. We've got Libra Moon. I don't know if that's, I think in the timeline that I did, the annual predictions, I think it was around March. Where are we? February, give or take a month or two. The Ten of Pentacles, again, in the past, he's not doing so well financially. He's got big fines and sanctions against him. But this is always follow the money. Follow the money. This is, as I said before, during his presidency and fundraising off the fraud, basically. It's the money that they're looking at. Information, holding on to information, the obstruction charge around classified documents is the key as well. Page of Swords, always he's a treacherous little blighter, isn't he? It's always the one that talks about sedition, traitor, spying. Goodness. Queen of Wands in the here and now. I go to female prosecutors. Three of Pentacles, working with others, working in teams. There's always around the money with him. Okay, hopes and fears, something coming to fruition in time. This is being patient, so we hope that it can occur. Two weeks, 2 months. Eight of Pentacles. So yes, they're working on it. They're working diligently on it. This is following the money trail. I asked were they going to be soon. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Look at these pentacles. Oh yeah, the sun, full illumination. These are financial charges I'm feeling. The King of Wands is the court, the grand jury. The Five of Swords is the abuse of power. The Page of Wands, communications, endings and beginnings. He's got at least one charge coming soon. But there are multiple. The Eight of Pentacles, they've got skilled people working on it. These are money crimes, financial crimes. All right, I'm probably going to leave it there. I'll get into other things I wanted to look at, whether the 24th of February, the invasion of Ukraine anniversary, apparently Putin is mobilizing. We'll do that in a remobilizing to have another offensive. I think we'll look at some charts over Russia, or even Putin's chart. We might look at Putin's chart and the transits, and we'll pull some cards. But that's it for now. Thanks for tuning in, people. You make the work worthwhile, and you provide a lot of the joy that I get from operating this channel. I will be going on the road in the next couple of weeks. It's been a while. I'm hopefully heading to a site where there could be some residual kind of non-earthly energies, but more about that later, and also some healing as well, battlefield kind of energies. But we've got a few things coming up for you, so stay tuned, and I'll be back again shortly. Thank you.